Copyright Matthias J. Ochner / Miami Herald / TNS. Bob Griese attends the Don Shula Celebration of Life event hosted by the Miami Dolphins at Hard Rock Stadium on Saturday, October 2, 2021. To commemorate the 50th anniversary of the Dolphins' perfect season, the Miami Herald is running weekly conversations with members of the 1972 team that went 17-0. Black small square. In the fifth game of the 72 season, you were tackled hard by the Chargers' Deacon Jones and Ron East and sustained a dislocated ankle. Did you think you might not come back in 72 from that injury? There was no surgery needed, but I didn't know whether I was going to come back or not. I was there for every meeting and on the field and watching everything that goes on, helping where I could on the sidelines. I got the cast off about 4 weeks after I had it put on, and I was getting treatment morning, noon, and night. I was ready to play by the 11th or 12th game. I was moving around pretty good, but Coach Shula didn't want to disrupt anything. He said it was going well with Earl Shula summoned Griese off the bench at halftime of the AFC Championship game in Pittsburgh. Black small square. Were you antsy to play after you were ready? There would be no undefeated season without Earl Morrall. I was just his backup at that time, helping where I can. Coach Shula said one of the toughest decisions he had to make was to sit Earl down and put me in the AFC Championship game against Pittsburgh. Griese completed 3 of 5 passes for 70 yards in that 21-17 win that catapulted the Dolphins into the Super Bowl. Black small square. Shula allowed you to call your own plays in every game you played for the Dolphins. Would Shula and offensive coordinator Howard Schnellenberger strongly suggest plays? That's the way it was back then, calling your own plays. I didn't call my own plays in college. When I got to the pros and saw I was going to be the play caller, I thought I better get mine, but ready to call plays on 3rd and 4 and 3rd and 10 and inside the 10. I had to watch film to see what defense the opponent would want in all these different situations. You tell me what defense you're going to be in, and I tell you what play I'm going to call. During games, Howard Schnellenberger and Monty Clark would be on the sideline. I was talking to Shula, and Monty would always come over too. Shula would cross his arms and say 3rd and 5, Bob, what do you like? Some of the time, I would say, Monty, what would you like? Monty would have the best run play in that situation. I knew the best passing play. If I had Monty telling me the best running play and I knew the best passing play, I would make up my mind which one to use. Black small square. What was your relationship with Shula like, and what made him so good at his job? He never yelled at me because he saw how hard I would prepare. I would take film home and ask good questions in the meetings during the week. I knew more about it than he did, and he knew that. He didn't jump my butt for throwing an interception. He and I were better friends after I retired than when I was playing. He was smart, and he knew everything wasn't always set in stone. Just because we did it this way doesn't mean we're going to do it this way all the time. When I came to the sideline, he would always ask me, what do you like? He wasn't above everybody else. He would lower himself to a player's standpoint. Shula swallowed his ego and came down and was willing to call whatever defense our defense felt good about playing, and on offense, if I felt good about a play. Black small square. Ever wish you got to pass more on some of those teams? You threw 7 passes in the Super Bowl to cap the undefeated season. We were better being a running team than we were a passing team. The offensive line was good at run blocking, not so much pass blocking. Not to say they couldn't pass block. But that offensive line would not work with Dan Marino. Larry Kasonka was a better running back than a receiver. Kasonka couldn't catch a cold if he had to. Jim Keek was a good receiver and returner. Our running game helped our defense. It sat the other team's offense no matter how good they were. It sat them if we made first downs. We ran the ball, took time off the clock. That helped our defense be the no. Black small square. What was the key to that season? We lost the year before to Dallas in the Super Bowl, and we had a bunch of good character guys on that team. Shula was the first, and we had other good character guys, Nick Buoniconti on defense, Larry Little, and the rest of the offensive line. The mood and the tempo for the 72 season was set by Shula after we lost the year before. Shula got on our butt after the Super Bowl loss, and all off-season we set our minds to coming back and winning it. We didn't plan on going undefeated. We didn't say, all right, we're going to win every game, it just happened that way. I think at one point Larry or Bob Kitchenberg said, we're 8-0, 9-0. Do you think we can go undefeated? It just kind of happened. There's the pure pride of achieving 17-0. Whenever anybody talks about the NFL and championships and who's the best, we've always got that ticket that we are right there at the top of being the best team. Griese retired from his Dolphins broadcasting job 2 years ago after spending 56 years on television or radio every football season, as a quarterback at Purdue, as a Dolphins quarterback for 14 years, and then as an announcer for NBC, NFL, and ABC, college football, and ESPN for 2 years before retiring from national broadcasting. After the 2010 season, he worked Dolphins preseason games on TV and regular season games on radio before stepping aside in 2020. What's it like to be out of the public eye, finally, at 77? We moved up to Jupiter and am enjoying life, he said. I'm a shy, introverted guy. I grew up in Evansville, Indiana. I play a little golf, walk the dogs, distributed by Tribune Content Agency, LLC.